Guys, this is the Southwire Maintenance Pro 23030T clamp multimeter. Now, I received this meter about a week and a half ago. I've been using it in the field. It's still relatively shiny compared to my old field piece meter right here. It's been beat up a little bit. But my initial impressions, we'll talk about the different functions. My initial impressions of the meter, the first thing I noticed was the weight difference. I have my field piece here and the Southwire here. And the Southwire, even though you can tell it's larger, I was really astounded at how heavy it was. And not heavy in a bad way as in it's bulky to carry around, but it just seems very well built. Not an issue as far as weight in the bag or anything like that. But it just seems like it can take a beating. Seems like it's put together very nicely. It is put together, I believe, in China. Yep, it is made in China, as we can see here. But it seems like it's put together very nicely. No issues there. It has a number of features we'll get into. Let me give you the length and width. As you see, we're looking right around 10 1/4, 10 1/2 inches long as far as the width. And only about, at the maximum, probably about 3 inches from this point to the other side. It is a clamp multimeter for amp testing. It is rated up to 1,000 amps, which is much more than my field piece is. It is 400 amps. Rated up to 600 volts, Cat 4, which is, I think, the same, yes, as my field piece, except my field piece is category 3. Has a dial similar to many other multimeters out there. Goes from function to function. Starting with the very top, let's zoom in and take a look at that. First thing we have is amp clamp, 1,000 amps, which is superior to the field piece. I don't get into having to read 1,000 amp measurements, but if you do, it is superior to the field piece and many other meters in that category. We step down to 600 amps here. We have a Fahrenheit and Celsius reading. What you do is you'll take these out. To do that, you'll see down here, we'll take these two out and we'll get an adapter which comes with the meter, as you can see here. Let's pull these out. Plug it in and it will give you your measurement for temperature. See, it's dropping down now, and that will give you your temperature measurement. We now go down to Hertz and duty cycle. Hertz is our frequency measurement. A lot of people deal with variable frequency drives and things of that nature, and that might assist you with that. The duty cycle, very similar. It's going to tell you a little bit about the electrical waveform. You can see things like how healthy the power source is for your particular area, and use it to test certain motors and drives. We go down one, it's capacitance. Something used in HVAC. We have our capacitor right here, by gosh, look at it. And if you look, I'm going to zoom out for a second. It takes a second to register the capacitor. And 0. There we go. Nope. 7.48. One more. We have a 55 7.5. Let me go to the compressor side. 54.94. So you can see. We have 3 separate icons here. We have a diode test, which I personally will not use, more than likely. We have ohms, which I use quite a bit. You see we're on ohms right now. It's open line because obviously we're not testing anything. So we put it together. And we have 0.8, 0.9 ohms. And then we'll have continuity, which will just give us our tone. We have volts DC, and we have volts AC. It has Hertz as well. And back to duty cycle and on. You can see there's 4 different buttons here on the meter itself. The Hertz and duty cycle button only switches in between Hertz and duty cycle when you're set up for that measurement. You can see Hertz here. See Hertz. We'll hit the button and we go to duty cycle. REL is relative. It stores a measurement and zeroes out the meter. Max and min is just that. It gives you the maximum, minimum values. Mode just toggles in between different features, such as when we have our ohms here. We'll go ohms, then tone, and then the diode test. So that's what those 4 buttons do. Not too awful complicated. It has a backlight. You can hit the hold button. It'll light up a backlight you can see on the screen. Turn it off, hold it down, turn the backlight back on. It has a button on the side. It has a button on the side that you can depress for a work light. And you can see the work light there. Then turn it off. That's pretty much all of the different aspects of the meter. A good in the field meter. It has things that the field piece doesn't have, as comparing it to my old meter. Right here. There's the whole family sitting together. Instead of using an adapter like this for the K-type thermocouple, the field piece slides out. You push this little button over and you can put a K-type in. So pretty much the same amount of work, because you have to take these out, slide a button over, then put it in. Both of them can be used with a K-type pipe clamp if you want to do superheat and subcooling old school. The field piece has Hertz, amps, volts, volts DC, non-contact voltage. The Southwire has non-contact voltage as well. There's a red light right here. When you get close to a voltage source, it will light up. This is a wireless meter. This one is not wireless. I very rarely use the wireless feature, so that is not as important to me. Since I use the iManifold as my HVAC gauge set, I don't really need any other wireless products. We have continuity, ohms, and microfarad all on the same dial on the field piece. You can see you have microfarad, ohms, continuity. The only thing that the field piece has that I wish was on this meter is microamps for testing flame sensors. Most of the time, that's not an extremely critical thing for me because of the amount of furnaces that I do see, and the fact that typically if the burner is light and then go right back off again, I'll just clean the flame sensor and that should fix the problem. But if I did want to know the exact reading, I would have to use this meter. The field piece does not have duty cycle, which, as I think things like duty cycle and Hertz are going to be more important as time goes by and there are developments in high efficiency machines. So I think that may become more important as time goes by. But if I had to choose at this point, I do like the rugged nature of the Southwire meter. I do wish it had microamps, but the meter overall seems like a better construction, a tougher meter. Just from the weight of it and the way it's handled in the field so far, I do like that. I'm going to continue to carry it in my bag and use the field piece as a backup meter. Hell, I may even do a giveaway for the field piece, who knows. But that's the story right now, guys. And this is the Southwire 23030T. I really enjoyed using it, and I want to thank the guys at Southwire. And I want to let you guys know that there was something wrong with the Southwire. Even though they have been so gracious as to give it to me, I will tell you about it, and I will relay it to you. Microamps is the main thing at this point. Everything else is pretty squared away. It's got all the features of the field piece short of the wireless, which I don't use. I've enjoyed these meters. I've gone through about 3 or 4 field piece meters in my time in HVAC, but I look forward to using the Southwire to see how it lasts, and I'll keep you guys updated as time goes by, and hopefully it lasts a good long time. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one.